Hello and welcome to an amazing podcast. This is the explosive hero, Dynamite.
This is Modi.
This is Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. God dang it, you guys.
Spider-Man. Oh, you thought
Oh
of a better
wow,
one.
you were so close. You were so close.
And we are talking about My Hero Academia Vigilantes, episodes X through 12.
Yeah, 5 through 12, a very long stretch of episodes.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's get started. I really am enjoying this anime. It is probably my favorite show of the season, and to preface this, I definitely like this a lot better than Vanilla My Hero Academia. I really love the lore drops and the world expansion, the world building they do in this, and I really appreciate that we actually get to see like hero work outside the confines of the school. And I'm really enjoying like the interpersonal relationship between Koichi, Popstep, and Knuckle Duster. And I'm trying to think what else to preface this. Stendhal Drip is on fleek. Animals have freaking quirks. Captain Celebrity is the best hero ever. And all in all, I'm having a lot of fun with it. What do you guys think?
I will also say, okay, well, I'm going to start off by responding to what you said, which is saying that this is better than original My Hero Academia is insanity. That is just absolute insanity.
Okay.
But I will say that I'm enjoying it a lot more than I did in the beginning. It's funny because I usually don't expect shows to get better like 5 episodes in, but that's pretty much what this show did. It just like started getting good all of a sudden.
Mashal destroyed your faith in anime.
Wait, what did Mashal?
Yeah.
I mean, I liked Mashal for the most part.
You're gaslighting yourself to like Mashal as because we're so harsh on it. You're like, someone needs to come up and defend Mashal, just like a vigilante.
Okay, it's probably true that with Mashal, yeah, you're probably right to some degree about that, but I did genuinely enjoy it. But I probably didn't enjoy it as much as I would have if I watched it alone and I like didn't have to defend it against y'all's hate. But yeah. But yeah, no, I think it's actually getting a lot better. I mean, I don't even know, is the season almost over? It must be, right? I feel like there's probably only one more episode
I
left
think
or something. Like
honestly, I think it's the end of season 1.
Dang.
I'm pretty sure there's one more because there's a preview of episode 13.
Oh, there was? Okay, I'm done then.
Yeah, so I think there's at least one more episode. But I think since the last time, yeah, it's just gotten a lot better. I like Dee said, I like the dynamics between the characters. And I like the expansion of the lore and the backstories and all that. I think generally, I just like the characters, which is what's making the show interesting. Because in terms of like the synopsis, I think it's like, just kind of boring. But we can get into that more later.
Why is the dominatrix teacher allowed to like be a teacher?
Because Matthew,
She's even like, I love like exciting my young boys. It's like,
listen.
Wait, she said that?
She said something like that. I don't remember. It wasn't that, but she said something like that. And it's like, why are you allowed around like minors?
Listen.
Oh,
young,
Matt,
young female
you just reminded me
heroes.
of you just remind me of another beef I have, which is that everyone who hates Mineta should hate her just as much.
I do hate her just as much. She should be in jail.
Okay.
She's
Okay, good. You're consistent on that because I don't see many people hating on her as much as they hate on Mineta.
well, okay. To be fair, does she
technically,
assault
she's prey.
students?
She's a predator.
She's a predator. Do we like actively see her assault students as much as Mineta does?
No.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm about to like be the midnight defender against y'all haters. Okay, first of all, Mineta doesn't know boundaries. Midnight does, okay? She only
But
gets
also,
handsy with criminals, alright?
Mineta has the defense of being not having like a developed frontal lobe, whereas he doesn't.
No, 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 no. Like
So
here's my thing. Mineta, like I think a lot of beef with my. I think having a pervy character like that exists in real life, like having like a little like pervert or whatever, right?
Mm.
My response is more of like, why have they not murdered him yet? Like, why have they not like killed him? Like, why is the teachers not like done a lobotomy on him?
Matt, okay, my
Why is he
favorite
an
scene.
accepted part of the? So I didn't mean to start off this review in a completely like it was kind of a joke thing, right?
okay,
But-
I also have
Okay.
another.
Yeah.
I
Real
have
fast.
another thing to say in like kind of defense of Mineta, which is that I think the author just set him up for failure because of the character design. One, just his character design in general, but then his quirk being like sticky balls. Like
Okay.
kind of just. I think here's what I want.
Yeah.
Here's how I want to state this. If Mineta had like, what's his name? Oh my god, I forgot his name. The Ice and Fire guy.
Todoroki. Yeah.
If he had Todoroki's character design, I don't think he would be hated with the same personality. I don't think he would be hated nearly as much.
No.
I feel like a lot of his hate has to do also with his like character design too, because there's other series with other perverted characters that people don't hate as much.
No,
Who
okay,
are worse.
okay, you're correct
Okay.
though. This is a common thing I've noticed in anime in general. Is like the more like they always give the pervy character that's like very cartoony. Like they're almost like a different like species of human, so that you
Yeah.
feel like more
Gooners aren't
comfortable
human.
detaching them from like real life. And then they give the same perverts like your Sanjis and stuff like that. They make them like look hot enough to where it's like acceptable. So I totally
Right.
agree with you. Like they're designed in a way where it's like, oh, haha, he's the perfect character. He like gropes a woman and then gets like stomped on by her or whatever, right? I think they could have subverted this by giving him like a really ridiculous design, really ridiculous quirk, and have him be like the chillest Chad type character, being like, "Hey, how's it going?" Like just like really,
That
just
would
like
be so
charming and like really, just like a really mature and like voice of reason character, but he's looks like he's wearing a diaper, and his quirk is he has sticky balls. Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that would be
What-
funny. But yeah, go
One
on.
of my all-time favorite scenes, definitively in My Hero Academia, was in the recent season where like all the heroes are just got completely bodied by All for One.
Yeah.
Like Minet's the only one left standing, and he's like, "Don't take their quirk, take mine." And then you just see All for One just stare at him in disgust and just fly away.
You want to know what the other thing is, though? His
Yeah.
quirk is actually really useful, though. That's the thing about it. It's just optics. People just don't like the optics of it.
Yeah, but
People
I
just-
hate him.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
I hate him as a
I know,
person.
I know.
I don't care how cool his quirk is, right?
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. But like,
Oh, I see what you mean. All for One is like this disgusting little thing. I don't want his quirk because he's a little gross
Yeah.
thing. I don't want to touch him with
No.
a stick.
yeah,
I just like
even
the
though
idea,
it's
like-
actually quite useful.
I just love the fact that All for One has no reason to know who this kid is, know what his backstory is, but just taking a look at him, he knows immediately, I don't want to deal with this, I'm gone. Screw making sure there are no survivors, I'm out.
I say too. Okay, this is gonna be probably. I'm probably gonna be alone in this, but what's his face is starting to annoy me. The main character,
Really?
he's starting to annoy me, and I don't think it's
Talking
totally
about in
fair.
Vigilantes?
Yes.
Oh,
Sorry,
really?
I'm trying to put the train back on the tracks here.
Thank you.
Because I could talk about Mineta all day, but needs a little bit of rest. It's not fair to him because I'm just really annoyed at like, oh, he's like really he's really bad at social situations, so he's unable to read that like this girl obviously has a crush on him, but he's just so clueless because he doesn't even. I don't know. I'm just really annoyed by it because it's like I feel like a lot of anime characters have that, and it's just like frustrating for me to watch.
But I don't know. Like okay, I know that I agree that this happens a lot in the shows, but I really like for this specific situation, I don't even think she makes it that clear.
Yeah.
Like if that was me, I wouldn't. I don't think I would be able to tell. Like I think she kind of.
Okay,
You know,
if it was
really
just that, like if it was just that, but like the way he handles situations is really annoying to me. And then also, like I think what really made me annoyed with him was like during the last couple episodes where he's like, I don't know how to I don't know how to compliment women. So I'm gonna be like, hey, your breath it doesn't smell as terrible today.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Are you saying that's not how you compliment women?
I don't know. It's a personal gripe, so I don't think I can count anything against it. But I'm just like, learn to fucking talk, you freak. Learn how to...
Would you say that to what's his name, the main character of that dungeon show of Dungeon Mission?
Lyos?
Yeah, of Lyos. Yeah.
Lyles gets a slight pass because I think it's way more clear that he's on a different like spectrum compared to the other.
Well,
people.
I think too the way that the actually you might be onto something, but I'm not going to accept it. So I'm just going to put a hold on that. I'm going to put a hold on this conversation until I can figure out a response to you.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
Okay, so for me, real fast.
Yeah.
And this is going back to what you were saying about how like the whole concept of vigilantes feel sort of underutilized with this.
Right.
I think they underutilized Stain in this so badly.
I didn't realize I was Stain until he like dug a dagger in his face. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
Like, okay, so first of all, I always thought like Stain's backstory was just, I was so ugly, so I couldn't get into hero school, and now I kill people. But like, I really think they should have had him stick around the main cast and like be an example of like why being a vigilante can be dangerous to the society, and actually have like you could have done something really nice where like you have Knuckle Duster and Stain, who are both pretty hardcore when it comes to the violence.
Yeah.
You could have had a really nice like dark mirror where like Stain represents what happens if Knuckle Duster crossed the line or something like that.
I think that's really good. I think you're right. I think they should have kept Stain longer and made you like him a lot more, because instantly I'm like, I hate this guy. And I didn't even realize it was Stain yet. Yeah. I'm like, this guy's so like annoying, and I hope he's out of the show soon. But I feel like if they kept it up and like, who's this cool mysterious guy and he helps out, like almost if you take something like the way they treat Ingenium or whatever, where he like pops up occasionally, he's like does cool heroic stuff or whatever. And then you like kind of break him down as the show goes on. But I mean, I guess it's fine for me.
I would have loved it so much if it was revealed that like they were both like Koichi and Stain were both like staying in the same exact apartment, like run down apartment building. I would have loved it even more if they were both like working at the same convenience store. I would have loved to see how Stain's customer service act goes.
Sorry, did the other two pay rent? I forget. Did they mention that?
No.
Which, by the way, Knuckle Duster's like a full adult who has his own like house, I think, right?
Yeah. Listen. His house doesn't have beer, all right?
Yeah. I do like Pop Step and Knuckle Duster a lot more, though. Even though I said I'm the what's his face annoys me.
Koichi.
Yeah, Koichi. I like those two. I think they're fun.
Now, one thing that also kind of took me out of it was Ingenium. So,
yeah.
Spoilers for like My Hero Academia, but Stain like turns him into a paraplegic.
Yeah.
That drove me crazy. He doesn't even run with his legs. His thrust was coming out of his arms. You could have attached wheels to him and he still could have been a hero.
He's still like, he has like an advanced wheelchair and he's like flying around.
That's so true.
Like he's just jetting around in his wheelchair, like kicking butt. Like, come on.
I think you're allowed to retire. I think because in this universe, being a hero is like much more like being like a sports star, right?
Yeah.
So like I think if you injure yourself and you're no longer like in peak performance, then you just kind of like retire.
You know, I'm
Wait,
again
what?
Because you
like
can't be as successful. Yeah.
I'm gonna give Stan a little bit more credit. Like he killed him for being a fake hero. Clearly, he was right. Like a real hero would have been like, okay, I can still like fight. I can still use my core. Put me in there, boss.
Oh, and they addressed my kind of criticism of like we finally get like an asshole here. I like Captain Celebrity. Is that his name, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, Captain Celebrity. Yeah.
I he's pretty fun as a
I
character.
I love the idea how he gets shown to be almost as strong as like All Might, but with the added benefit of flight. But
But
he
he's
effed up.
American.
No, he effed. I like the idea that he effed up so hard in America. They literally let him just fly off to another country. They literally let a nuke go to another country. He got canceled out of an entire nation.
Yeah.
One thing I felt like I started to see similarities uh, with from Vigilantes was with the boys. I don't know if either of you have seen the boys.
Yeah, I've seen the boys.
But like yeah, like Captain Celebrity pretty much reminded me of like any hero in the boys, where it's just like all about, you know, how good you look and all that, and like the, you know, the media has to be there for you to actually start doing some superhero
Right.
stuff. Except he actually did do.
He does save people, you know. Like,
Yeah, he's better. He's better than the boys'
Yeah.
heroes, of course. But
Yeah.
like it kind of reminded me of that. And then I realized Knuckle Duster is also kind of like Butcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, okay, okay. That's the weird thing, though, is like the vigilantes, despite like also kind of being criminals, well, actually, like legally being criminals, right, are still accepted and hang around like normal society, and
Yeah.
like are right next to like they're collabing with President Mike and Midnight. Like
Yeah.
to me, that feels like a little bit weird and kind of. I mean, it's like fine, right? It's just like when I think of vigilante, I'm like they're having to run from the law, but while also doing good.
But I mean, when you
Okay.
say they're collabing with them, I don't think that's actually true, because really it was just Pop. What was his name again?
Pop step.
Pop Step.
Pop Step,
that was.
yeah.
And Pop Step is not necessarily known as a vigilante.
That's true.
Crawler is, and Knuckle Duster is, but they weren't actually part of the event thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
that
the
makes
other
sense.
thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing though, because like one of my favorite episodes was like the whole like expo dump about like the world building section where they were explaining like, oh, this is where Hero Society came from.
Me
This
too.
is where Lava
Right,
Laws
yeah.
came from. That would have been an awesome spin-off for this. Like it's just like it's
Yeah,
the US where like, oh shit, all these people have superpowers are popping up. How are we gonna handle this stuff?
Right.
I think that might have actually even been a better synopsis for a spin-off.
For
than
spin-off.
this.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
The way
But
they,
again-
at least the way she described how it went down, that was actually, I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting, actually.
I do like how like Captain Celebrity is just still super whipped by his ex-wife too. Like,
I mean,
no,
see, I
honey,
don't
you
know.
don't get it. I kiss all of the people I rescue.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that part, because I was like, wait a minute, is she in the middle of divorcing him or not?
Yes.
Because if she is, then like, why is I mean, I guess I know why, because I would just make it, you know, build a better case for the lawyers.
Yeah.
Like, you already got canceled. Like, can it really get worse? Like, they sent you to Japan, so
Well, he doesn't want to get canceled in Japan too, probably. But
yeah, I guess.
that,
It's also funny because
yeah.
I was thinking realistically, that kind of character, that kind of person would never actually know Japanese, right? They
Yeah.
wouldn't, like he goes to Japan, he actually knows Japanese. Like, there's no way he knows anything other than English, you know? So like,
Joke's
that was
on
weird,
you.
though.
That's why I watched the dub.
Oh, okay, true. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I have heard from like YouTube comments, so take this with a grain of salt. But apparently, his Japanese is a lot more broken in the sub. Than the
Oh,
other
cool.
characters.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's.
I didn't
I
notice.
have to like watch a scene with that because that's funny.
Yeah.
The other thing, though, I do like how in the dub they do exaggerate his voice a little bit more, and they do give him what sounds like somewhat of an accent. So I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
Really?
I love the scene where like they're rescuing people from the collapsing building, And despite having super strength, he lets the guy who has like regular human strength carry the fat guy out.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's literally the boys. Like it's
Even the fat guy was like, "Thank you so much." Like, you gotta understand. I was curious. What do you think happens when a hero gets injected with the steroids?
I'm guessing same thing that would happen with like the other characters, just on a much larger scale.
Do they
So like I
turn
would just
evil though? Like, do you think they just become animalistic and start like destroying shit? Or
no, I think it's kind of like the whole Black Suit Spider-Man kind of thing where they become way more aggressive, but they're still like they instead if someone would like if say if Aizawa would just
yeah,
beat up a criminal, if he got injected by the steroids, he might like kill a criminal or something like that.
right? Because that's what I thought they might. I thought that might be a direction they take,
Mm.
where either like they inject Knuckle Duster, or I thought for sure they were gonna like do something where they target Captain Celebrity and
Mm-hmm.
make him do something like really awful, or
Yeah.
or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
oh, that would be interesting. Yeah.
Because
Also,
another part of me thought I don't think they're gonna do this like at all,
Mm.
and then maybe it's like kind of cliche because like the boys already does it, but I thought it
Yeah.
was gonna be like the 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 serum or whatever that's like being made by some like hero faction that's
Mm.
like trying to like create more interesting villains or just villains in general to fight
Mm.
to keep up their industry so that they have
Yeah.
like more people to go against. But
Right.
that's
that's
like the
interesting.
boys is already kind of does that.
Yeah. Plus,
Um,
it's kind of clear
Yeah.
that like she's taught like B Girl was talking with All for One in all of her
yeah,
conversations.
yeah.
So also two other things I really like about the show. Animals can have quirks, and kaiju's exist in the My Hero universe.
Was that always a thing?
I
Kaijus?
don't know. Like they say, like oh, he has a like gigantification quirk, but a lot like they were just like straight up kaiju. Those weren't people.
Yeah, yeah,
And like the cat bus, that was a straight up cat.
yeah. I forgot about
The
that.
bee girl
what?
was just like
I was confused by that. Okay.
Yeah,
yeah.
like, they injected the cat with the serum, and the cat just like randomly combined with the buzz.
Or like the bee girl was an actual like quirked up queen bee, and that's like
Yeah,
what the hell?
yeah, like that wasn't her quirk. She had like a completely separate quirk. It's just she got like infected by the whatever the bee thing.
Yeah.
I was confused by that too. I didn't know if like was yeah, but it seemed I don't know. I feel like that's not entirely. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I'm probably wrong. Okay, so it's just a bee that has like human like intelligence.
Yeah, I think the
Yeah.
bee itself is the villain, and like was it kind of controlling and infect because he was talking about like his daughter being a separate entity. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think there
Yeah.
definitely was an element of the daughter in there. It's just like her anger and resentment was being like weaponized to where she couldn't think straight, and she was like no longer kind of herself anymore.
Yeah.
Also, okay, I don't know what Knuckle Duster's like full backstory is, but I would love it so much if he was just a quirkless salaryman that had the most productive midlife crisis
That's kind of what I
imaginable.
was hoping for, to be honest. I was kind of hoping he was just a dude who was like working an office job and was like, you know what? But I
I
mean,
like
it's
how
fine.
I like this a lot better though, honestly.
That's
I
fair.
like the fact that like him spending a year just randomly assaulting people technically somehow made him a better father too.
That's so
Like
true. Like, what did he learn?
Tomoko, I've
What changed his
Tomoko, I've
mind?
Tomoko, I've punched a lot of people in these last couple of months, and that's taught me that I need to be more accepting of you.
What was that the conclusion? I think it was more like he instantly knew he fucked up, and he was trying to, not instantly, but he was trying to like find her to like, I guess, either save her or kill her.
See, my timeline, like the way I'm kind of picturing the timeline is ran away from home.
Yeah.
His wife got like sometime later, his wife got sick, and then he kind of just he had the moment where he was just like, I need to find my daughter, and he eventually just got on the trail of the whole Trigger and the bee lady.
Yeah.
Or the
yeah.
evil bee. Also, again, Knuckle Duster, best dad.
Again, I don't know if I agree, because her walking out to begin with was because he wasn't accepting of her, and then she got infected by. I guess that his willingness to try to find her, and yeah, I guess so.
But,
Okay,
like, I don't
okay,
understand-
here's the thing.
I
Here's the
don't,
bad
I don't know
thing.
why he necessarily had to do it the way he did. Like, why
Yeah.
didn't he just go to the authorities for that? You know? Why is like his
Okay.
first resort to become a vigilante? I don't know.
Okay, to be fair, best father in the My Hero universe. If you compare him to like Endeavor, who actively abused his family, Deku's dad, who just yeeted out, Koichi's dad, who just doesn't want to be around him and his wife, and like Bakugo's dad for just enabling him, I would say like he ranks up pretty high up top.
I mean, I guess. But,
Do you
know,
think it would have been better if
Well.
they tied more in like the way that the heroes operate into like his tragic backstory? So like maybe his like wife died and his daughter got taken because like no hero wanted to take the case or something like that. Or maybe like a hero went uh I don't know, didn't go far enough to killing another villain, and that villain eventually reached his daughter, and she got infected or something. Like I don't know, something that like kind of ties like his issue with how heroes normally do things to the fact that makes him want to be vigilante and kind of like look down on the way heroes operate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I would prefer
another
that a lot more.
Yeah.
And also,
Totally.
I'll also say I don't necessarily rule it out yet because
That's true.
we may not be done learning the backstory, so it's possible still.
Also, fun Easter egg. He gets his gadgets and stuff from the same people who supplied the League of Villains.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
that's true. And also that part about him like taking painkillers. I mean, I guess I know what that's about, but that was also a little bit surprising.
Listen, you guys. When people have midlife crisis, some people become alcoholics and spend a lot of money on boats and BS. Knuckle Duster pops a bunch of painkillers and starts going out to make the world a better place. All right.
But he's also an alcoholic too at the same time. When you think about it.
Yeah.
He just doesn't pay for it himself.
That's why. See, that's why like they're such a like him and Koichi are such a good duo. Like Koichi controls his alcoholism.
Yeah, there you go.
Also, Crawler can fucking fly.
Yes.
That's cool. I like that development.
Okay, real fast. I love Koichi's mom.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would love. Okay, I wish Koichi and Deku swapped moms because I love this. I always picture the scene. Where,
That's
like,
what Deku needed. He needed a mom and tell him like your shit. Get your shit together.
Like, I love the idea of like just a scene where he's like pointing at the monitor, tears running down his eyes, like asking, "Mom, can I be a hero?" And then Koichi's mom just slaps him and tells him to get back to work. Like she slapped the baby.
Yeah, I thought it was also funny when the episode starts off with him trying to pass off Makoto as his girlfriend, and his mom just has zero faith in him whatsoever. She's like, "Stop!" Immediately, she's like, "Stop lying."
And you know, I also give her a lot of credit too because when the high school girl came in, she didn't immediately assume, "Oh my God, what are you doing?"
Yeah, that's true.
Also, I love how she was trying to hit on Knuckle Duster too. I would love it if like next season, Knuckle Duster's wife dies and you all of a sudden see him trying to hook up with like Koichi's mom.
I think it's heavily implied that's what happened when he was out
Yeah.
fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Because he gets that
Oh,
call
really?
being like, "Oh, I understand," and then he just continues beating up his daughter.
His daughter's
really?
body, okay.
I mean, I guess I'm still holding out hope that she's at least not dead yet, and he'll at least bring her back. I mean, resuscitate his daughter and bring her to the mother before she passes away.
I
You
think
know
the
the bad
daughter
part
is alive, but I think the mother's gone.
Yeah.
I think the blizzard's been
Okay.
kind of gone and just kind of like in a vegetative state, but
Also, like I doubt it's gonna go this direction, but like that queen bee thing he yanked out of her head was freaking huge. There's no way she
yeah,
didn't have like incredible brain damage from that.
no.
Yeah, I mean, and also the fact that her arm got fried, that's also kind of sad.
Hmm.
She also had a stain through a fucking knife at her.
Yeah.
And I thought for a second, I mean, I should have known better, but I thought for a second, like, damn, did they just like kill her off like that? But no, like it, I guess hit a bunch of bees. But yeah,
Yeah.
what do you guys think of her as the first like? I don't know if she's gonna come. I doubt she's gonna come back as a villain, but
Yeah.
think of her as like a villain for the first season.
I think okay, so my biggest issue with this is I kind of wish the central like conflict was a little bit more gripping slash a little bit more on screen because like we
Hmm.
clearly know like she is the main villain, but none of the other characters aside from Knuckle Duster, and we only find this out near the very end,
Yeah.
have any real connection with her and have any real stakes in like trying to stop the whole trigger outbreak thing. And I think that kind of like the show kind of suffers from it because while I do like the episodic monster of the week kind of thing, I feel like there's nothing real. There wasn't really anything for me to like really grip on, like oh Deku trying to become the number one hero or something like that. Like Koichi as a main character, I enjoy, but I kind of wish he had like some sort of like really tangible goal to like push the series forward more.
I think I
Who
agree with
like she
that.
doesn't interact a lot with the main. She mostly interacts with Knuckle Duster for obvious reasons. There's not a
Mm-hmm.
lot of like her directly antagonizing the other two. The other two are just kind of like doing their own thing as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there's like not a lot of cohesion between like their plot line and like what's happening in the background. Besides,
Yeah.
they're just kind of cleaning up whatever was happening in the background, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you guys think about the backstory? This is probably what started me like really enjoying it. Was when we found out that Koichi missed his UA exam because he was saving Pop Step. What did you guys think about that?
I
I
think
really enjoyed that.
I think it's good, but I think also the hero or school is ridiculous.
They let Mineta in for God's sakes.
I think if you explain, hey, I was saving someone, that should be calls for like, oh, we should like especially consider this guy, or like have like late entrance exams or whatever. I don't know.
That would have been funny if he does things like, "We should have saved him during the exam. Expelled."
We're like, oh, he skips a year to do like community work, and then he
Right.
reapplies the next year.
Okay, and this is the thing. This is why I really like Koichi more than Deku because like he was told he couldn't be a hero, but he still went out there and kept trying to be like helpful in his own way. Like he wasn't like crying about like, "Oh no, I'll never be a hero." Like he was out doing community service, he was helping people. He helped Deku's mom get to where she was going, okay?
Well, I mean, okay,
Like I
let's hold on.
appreciate
Let
the
me be fair to. I really hate the Deku hate. Okay, let's be fair to Deku. He had like one episode where he had no chance of being a hero. Like, if the show, if like he hadn't immediately like he met All Might in episode one. If he hadn't met All Might in episode one, he probably would have ended up doing the same thing as what's his name as Koichi. You know.
I don't know. Okay, so one thing I will say, I do like Deku, but I do find it kind of funny that the only time he ever starts really doing hero stuff is when he gets superpowers. Or when he gets like, oh hey, world's greatest superheroes
He
willing
does
to train
punch
me.
that
That's-
one guy to save Bakugo. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, it's not even an oh hey thing. I feel like okay, why does everyone always forget that he literally got his powers because he dived in to save someone when he had no powers against a villain.
Okay, fair
It
enough,
wasn't
fair
just
enough.
bestowed upon him.
Fair enough.
I still think there's pathways he could have took earlier on.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just saying he
Okay.
had a lot of time to prepare. I'm just
Okay, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't call it Deku hate. I will say, like, I think a lot of issues people have with Deku is the show really lays on how sad and how miserable he is about not being a hero, and the whole issue is
Yeah.
like there are ways he could have become a hero. Like he didn't have to be a superhero, but there were like the situation was not as hopeless as the show makes it out to be, and the fact that Knuckle Duster is just quirkless, going around punching supervillains with no money and like
To be
no
fair, Knuckle
advanced.
Duster's not being healthy about it. He's not. He's chugging down painkillers.
What do you
and
know?
very
You're not a
self.
doctor.
He jumped
Knuckle
off
Duster's
like a
literally-
roof like he jumped off a roof and like clearly like was not a
he's
smart
literally
decision
high
either.
while he's doing all this.
Okay. I firmly believe that I think Deku and Knuckle Duster would have been a way better master student duo than Deku and All Might. I think that would have been hilarious.
Yeah, okay.
I don't understand.
I think one thing that's probably kind of annoying is like Deku's. I don't think it's actually his goals, but the way that the show frames it is like his stated goals is he wants to be the best hero ever. He wants to be like All Might or whatever. Whereas like Koichi is more explicit and like I like helping people. This is what I wanted. Like he's happy where his life is at. Like he's fine just contributing like what he can. I don't think it matters that much.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna like I'm not
I
gonna defend
agree.
it too hard, but I'm just saying that might be
Yeah.
where it's like a little bit different. Because
I
like
agree that
Deku's
it
like
is.
constant thesis is like I have to be the best hero. I can only be the best hero. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. I guess we can move on. And one thing that I thought was funny was that when Makoto and Koichi were going around interviewing people, asking them what they thought about the Vigilantes, and everyone was saying the crawler was creepy. And that one girl was like, "I feel like he looks up skirts." And the middle schoolers trolling him, that was funny too.
Okay, also, I love the supervillains they fight. Like, one dude is just a soccer playing penguin. Like, I want to know what his backstory is.
Why?
Okay.
When I saw that, I was like, wait a minute. So you have a literal soccer quirk. Why aren't you going pro? Why are you stealing laptops? Like, you know,
Okay.
why wouldn't you go pro? Like that's like it's literally your God-given like.
Maybe he's banned from
it's
it
your-
because he's got a
it's your
soccer
destiny.
quirk.
Maybe, probably.
Okay, I would love it so much if there is a scene after, like, All For One does, like, his big evil villain montage. And then all of a sudden he picks up his phone, goes, "Yes, my master," and it's the soccer guy. He's the Darth Jar Jar of My Hero Academia. Or, like, the one dude with the, his whole power is he has stretchy legs. Or, like, the running vampire.
Yeah.
I forgot these villains, and you're mentioning them. Like, oh yeah.
And that's the other thing. I really wish, again, I wish we had more time with Stain. Because, like, he is such a fascinating character. Just the fact that, like, he idolizes All Might, a hero who has a definite no-killing rule. And he himself is, like, a crazy, like, knife murderer. Like, you could have gone to some, like, really interesting stuff, like, oh, like, All Might's amazing, but, like, sometimes you need to kill to actually get, like, things done. Sometimes people don't redeem themselves, and you have to have a stricter, like, policy of justice. Or you could even have him hang out with Koichi more, where Koichi's like, "Oh man, Stain's so cool, he's such a badass," and then all of a sudden something comes up where he's just like, "We have to kill these jaywalkers. If I don't kill jaywalkers, who will?"
Yeah, I think if they wanted to draw it out, which I think I would have preferred they do, they could have had kind of like these turning moments for Stain.
They could have had him be like the main villain of the arc and just have like B-Girl be like the background villain.
Yeah, that's
Guys,
true.
I didn't even realize that was Stain until you guys like.
Oh, really?
started talking. Yeah, like I literally I didn't realize that was supposed to be Stain.
It's funny because as soon as I saw like the katana, I was like, "Oh wait, this guy seems familiar."
Yeah, I think maybe I noticed familiarity, but like my memory is so bad, I barely even remember Stain at this point because it's been like, I don't know how many years it's been. So, yeah.
Which costume did you prefer? Which costume do you like? His My Hero costume or his vigilante costume better?
I think probably his My Hero costume.
Really? Dang.
Yeah.
But the vigilante costume is so red and edgy.
I mean, I mean, I feel like I could say the same for the My Hero one.
I don't know.
mean,
I like
either
how
way,
like
I'll say that he had the best character. He's had the best superhero character design in Vigilantes, probably.
yes, easily. I don't. Okay, second to Knuckle Duster. Like, this is gonna sound weird, but like I really like.
I can agree with that.
I really love superhero costumes where it's clearly like street clothes that people are just wearing very like flamboyantly.
Yeah.
Like, I like it when instead of spandex, it's just like, yeah, this is a coat, but it's like, it's designed in a way where like, oh shoot, that guy's a superhero.
Speaking of, this might be another hot take. I don't know. I don't like Koichi's outfit. I want him to change. Give him a new costume, please.
It's a little too All Might adjacent.
No, it is
I don't
All Might. It's the All Might merch.
Right.
I don't necessarily like it either, but I'm not sure I would actually want him to have like a full-on costume either. You know what I mean? I don't know.
If I were buying like a figure of these characters, which I never do, but if I were, I would not
killing the anime industry.
I would not want Koichi's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I feel like, if he's a vigilante, I don't want him to have like a full-on superhero fit. I want his outfit
Yeah,
to be like,
no, I agree with you.
I agree with you.
But I want it to be
it's not
original,
good.
though.
What he
Like, I
has-
want it to
what he
be
has
original.
now.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty much I agree with you. I don't think what he has now is good, but I also wouldn't want him to have like a full-on, actual costume.
Like
honestly,
I'm thinking
if
like
you
Spider-Man before he gets his suit, and he's like wearing like like a bunch of like, oh, I put this suit together in my with like random stuff around my house. Like I wouldn't mind that. I just like I feel like the All Might merch is like a little too direct
Yeah.
for my
But
taste. I
also,
don't know.
I will say, I thought it was really funny. This is what made me really like Captain Celebrity. The fact that both times he saved Koichi, like he signed his jacket, like he signed it, and then Koichi went through all the trouble of like erasing the ink marks, and then he got him. He saved him again, and he signed it again.
okay,
That was hilarious.
for me, I think I would have liked his design a lot more because one of my favorite aspects of his design is he's not using tech; he's just wearing like biker gear. So I think if they like highlight like he's just wearing like biker padding and has a hoodie on top of it, I think that would have been a much cooler fit.
Yeah.
Let like more of a generic hoodie too, not like a straight up All Might hoodie.
And also, I think putting aside his character design, I really like how he is developing, right, in terms of his power and learning how to fight. And I really think like he could genuinely become like just as good as any like full-fledged hero, or even better than a lot of them if he just kept training. Like if he has the combat ability of Knuckle Duster, and he continues to improve his quirk, and now that he can fly, I mean,
His
come
mom,
on, like he's actually just a hero.
and his mom stopped slapping the quirk out of him.
Yeah. Also, here's another thing. Does his mom have a quirk where she can slap him at a distance? Because every time they showed it, like she was slapping him at a distance. Like she wasn't.
Okay,
actually...
You just
this
get
is the
that as a
funny thing.
mom, I think.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Okay,
just
this is
the
the
mom
fun-
quirk. Yeah.
This is one of the funnier things to notice about this. Koichi's mom and Deku's mom have the same quirk. They both have telekinesis. It's just like Deku's mom doesn't use it to slap him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm a little bit surprised by? The villains from episode 1 just like sticking around.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I kind of like it. I like how that one guy.
No, I get
started
like
working
the
for
care.
Knuckle
I'm just saying like why are they like not like I don't know locked up, I guess.
I think they
Listen.
explained it, didn't they? I think.
Did they? Sorry, I might have missed it, but
Yeah, I think it was. I don't think this is the exact explanation, but it had something to do with it being like a first offense or something along those lines. Correct me if I'm wrong, D. But
Yeah.
No, they did explain that, but that doesn't make a lot of sense. To like, if you like bomb a hospital, like, does that count as a first offense? So you don't go to jail.
Yep. Why do you think Stain's the way he is?
Yeah, I guess.
That's a little bit silly if that's the case.
I don't think that was. Maybe that wasn't what it was, but maybe it was. I don't know. It could have been a bad explanation. I don't know.
I think the other thing too is like there are so many like instant villains popping up. They probably assume like, yeah, you guys were clearly under the influence of like whatever is causing people to become villains. You guys are free to go.
Yeah, but they took the medicine drug to begin with and started tearing shit up. Like, I don't know. I think that requires a little bit. Honestly, detaining them for their own safety and for investigation purposes. Like, in that case, it's just like, hey, like, where'd you get this from or whatever? Like, clearly a shady organization has interest in you or whatever.
Also, the eel kid is just a kaiju right now.
Yeah.
Okay, question. Do you think that's a glow up, or do you think that's like, oh my god, what his life is ruined? I feel like it's a glow up in this universe.
I don't know.
Also, those guys, if I remember, when they like harassing the two main characters, including like weren't they gonna do something implied to Pop Step or something?
Yes.
I kept thinking that in the back of my head too. I'm like, you guys hanging around these guys, but I don't know.
Listen, first offense, okay? The My Hero universe believes in second chances, alright?
Yeah,
I killed 30 people, but it was a first offense. Oh man. Unless they catch you smoking weed, then that's life.
That would be so funny if in like My Hero Academia, like after the fight with Stain and they finally like take him in, they just let him immediately go. It's like, yeah, you killed like 30 heroes, but first offense, you're free to go.
Yeah, but then meanwhile, like a guy is like loitering. And they're like, quickly, gun guy, shoot him.
Also, like one thing I would love to see if like at the end of My Hero Academia with like how corrupt some heroes can be. I would love it like the fact that we have a supervillain who can literally shapeshift, like with that Toga chick. I would love it if characters like Captain Celebrity were like, no honey, you don't get it. I wasn't cheating on you. That was Toga. She was disguised at me.
Must have been a shape-shifting villain.
Endeavor's like, no, I didn't beat my wife. That was Toga disguised as me.
Damn. The AI defense. God, what else? There's something else I was gonna mention. I liked the bit where the payoff of his what's her name? The interviewer lady.
Makoto?
Yes, sure. When she it's revealed that she has like mind reading powers.
Oh, she's a lie detector.
Or lie detector. Yeah, that's what it is, lie detector. Which I think is like a fun quirk to have for a character. But then asks Koichi, like, are you the Crawler? And he's like, no. Because he doesn't like the name. I just like that as like a payoff. And like, okay. She doesn't believe that he's a... Yeah.
Wait a minute. So, I guess I read that scene wrong. So, pretty much when she asked him that, she didn't realize that he actually was the Crawler because she pronounced it wrong and he said no?
Yeah, she used the version that everyone else is using, but he doesn't view that as his name, and he's annoyed by it. Yeah.
Okay, it's probably easier to tell in the dub. Okay, I see.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because also, Crawler and Crawler pronounced with a Japanese accent, it doesn't sound that much different.
Yeah, fair enough.
And this is gonna be the last time I bring up Stain, but I'm really fascinated about how people will discover their powers in the My Hero universe. Like, his power is like if he drinks someone's blood, he paralyzes them. I'm really curious to find out how he figured that out.
Got curious.
That's a good point.
Like, I love the idea of like there's like this one guy in the My Hero universe who has like the most OP quirk ever, but he thinks he's quirkless because there's like a super specific trigger mechanism to activate his power. Like something like, oh yeah, I can bend reality, but I have to like eat 20 pounds of butter to do it.
Yeah.
I wonder if they regularly like take tests for like kids to see if they have powers or not. Because like if your power is like black hole and you just like randomly like unleash it one day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like it'd be better to like discover that stuff in like a safe environment. How did like Best Jeanist figure out what his power was?
Like, if I had to guess, like, in general, like, your quirk might dictate how your personality is. So, like, say if your, like, quirk revolves around you drinking blood, then you might have, like, an instinctual, like, desire to, like, lick bloody surfaces or something. But aside from that, I'm not sure.
What if the soccer quirk guy doesn't actually have a soccer quirk and he's just really good at
soccer? That'd be funny.
He's just so good that they think it's a quirk, you
know? No, his quirk was he had a penguin head, I think.
Well, can't you have a penguin head and also have like also have a quirk? Because there's that one girl in the main show where she's like pink but also is poisonous. So
I assume that like his quirk is he has a penguin head, but him being good at soccer is just something he developed himself.
Okay, cool.
That's so funny. And like why wouldn't you go pro then? Like
Modi, that's the thing. Like every time someone tried to like toss the ball to him, his beak would just pop it.
Oh, that makes sense.
You're just too good at it.
Yeah.
Anything else, you guys?
Nah, I think I've said everything I want to say. I guess I have a couple wrap up things to say, but I can say that when I give my rating.
Yep.
Okay. Do we think the daughter is dead or no?
I think she's alive.
No, I don't think she's dead. I don't even think the wife's
dead. I think she's alive
honestly.
too.
At least not yet. Yeah.
I would love it in the next season, even though he saved his daughter, he's still like hooked on the whole like vigilante stuff, and you have like a whole thing of her being like, "Dad, for God's sakes, come home! Stop punching criminals!" like you have a scene where like Knuckle Duster like walks up into like Koichi's apartment, and you have his entire family having an intervention with him. No, that's the other thing. Like, he hasn't been to work in, like, forever because of the whole hero stuff, so his entire family starts living with Koichi.
That's funny.
God, I hope we get scenes of him trying to bond with his daughter. I think that'd be really funny scenes for his character.
He's desperately trying to make her a Robin.
I doubt it, but maybe.
Like he supports her like desire to become a musician, but every time he goes to one of her concerts, he threatens to beat up everyone in the crowd who isn't cheering.
Damn.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
All right, final verdicts.
Okay, so yeah, I'll say that like I said, I think the 5 through 12 episodes 5 through 12 a lot better than the first 4. I was really bored at first, but I think the show is actually worth watching now. At least it was interesting enough to keep watching without getting bored. And I kind of agree with what you said earlier, D, about the plot. It felt like it was like a bunch of filler episodes, and like the main plot kind of took the sideline, which it feels like it should be the opposite, where like the main plot is the main thing, and there's like the B plots, which like the concert was like the main thing, and then him finding his daughter was like the side thing.
Yeah.
It was very weird.
That should have been flipped really badly.
The B plot.
Oh wow! But so yeah, I think that's like the biggest flaw of the show. But seriously, it gets um, neutralized. Maybe that's the word, or like balanced out by like all the characters being like really good, and the character interactions being fun. Um, yeah, I liked all of that. So overall, I would probably give these. I would probably give it so far like a 6.5.
Dang.
Oh, also, I should tell you, I changed my rating systems. So going forward, my ratings are going to be lower. So like a 6.5 of today is not like a 6.5 of old me. So
Wait, why?
A 6.5 of today is like a good thing compared to like old me, you know.
I'm assuming like if you say it's a 6.5 for you, it's probably like a 7.5 for everyone else.
Well, what I mean is this, okay, old me giving this a 6.5, old me would have given it like an 8 or something. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, but what made you change your system?
What made me change? I think it was just I realized that I was rating everything too highly.
Yeah.
You were
Like,
liking too much stuff.
Yeah, no, because I realized it was I had a whole bunch of stuff between like 8 and 10, but like when I actually looked at it, like there was such a huge gap in quality like between the things I was rating 8 and 9 and 10 and stuff. I was like, obviously I'm just being too scared to rate things lower. So I decided, okay, I'm just going to rate things lower, and it's just not such a bad thing. Like a 5 out of 10, it's average. Like it's watchable. That's fine. You know, if something's a 5 out of 10, it's a 5 out of 10. That doesn't mean it's bad. Whereas before, that threshold would have been like a 7 out of 10. Like I would have felt like if I was rating something below a 7, I was saying it wasn't good. Whereas I don't feel like that anymore.
Damn, that means you gave Red Ranger Isekai and a lot of sections of Delicious and Dungeon a straight up 0 out of 10.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
To me, like a 5 is like I'm like the most neutral I could be about a show. And anything above it, I'm like is range of like like positive feelings toward it, and then below it like a range of like negative feelings towards it. So like a 4.5, I'm like it was fine, but I kind of like didn't like my experience watching it overall.
Yeah, like if I rated something below a 5, I pretty much don't want it. Like I wouldn't want to continue watching it. And a 5 is like I'm like pushing myself to watch it. And a 6 is like, okay, it's enjoyable enough. And I feel like that's how I feel about Vigilantes.
Same. For me, like a 5 is just I literally feel nothing for it, and everything below is like I really don't like it. A 6 and 7 is like it's fun. It was fun. I didn't regret watching it, but I'm not sure if I would continue watching it. Pretty much like how Sakamoto was. Whereas an 8 and 10 is like for me it's really good and I'm going to continue watching it. And for me, I would definitely say Vigilantes. If I was like flying by hype, I would probably say 8.5. But if I want to be super like strict with myself, I would say an 8 out of 10. Like I really like the characters. I really like the world building. I really like the story structure. Even though like I think certain plots should have had more weight to them. And I'm definitely looking forward to season 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I'm also just like a 6 out of 10. Like I enjoy it. You know, I was invested watching it. I like most of the characters. There's nothing I would be like, oh my god, this is my favorite character. This character is like particularly like exceptional compared to like other things I watch. But like I think it does like a pretty good job. I feel like it's kind of weird for me at least, to compare it to like My Hero at this point.
Yeah.
Because like the shows kind of feel like pretty different.
Very different.
But I'd say it's like to me kind of like a similar quality. It's just I might like individual characters or settings like better than I would in the other one, but some like maybe less. So I'm invested in it, but yeah, I'm 6 out of 10.
Yeah, that's the thing for me. Like the reason I kind of I kind of enjoy this more than Vanilla My Hero is just I like it all comes down to the setting. Like I've never really been a big fan of like the high school setting.
Yeah.
The fact that this is like, oh yeah, we're adults doing adult hero stuff feels fun to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the exact opposite for me actually. I really like this high school setting, which is probably why I like My Hero so much than most people, so much more than most people.
Anime needs to grow up, and we need to get college settings.
Dang right.
That too. I mean, I don't. It's not necessarily the high school setting thing for me, but I like the
just
school
like the
setting.
school.
Yeah. I like that.
That's why I'm saying that we need. I think college is even more hype than high school because high school kind of sucks, right?
Yeah.
Well, when like with college, you get to take your own major, you get to like join clubs and like.
You can binge drink.
You could like start doing adult stuff while you're like, you know, you're becoming an adult. Plus, you like can take classes with like, oh my god, like I'm taking a class with like a 60-year-old veteran who just like wants to learn about like, I don't know, the First Amendment in communications. Like that's cool.
That's the other thing. Like you can have something really fun where like you have like certain heroes specializing. Like you have certain students like specializing in like different hero majors. So like, oh yeah, I want to be in like an Iron Man tech hero, so I'm in like the tech major. Or like, oh yeah, I want to be a more subtle street level hero, so I'm in like the law enforcement division.
You have hero frats, you know.
Great. Oh no, please.
Yes. You have the hazing arc.
Oh god.
The hazing arc.
I want to like don't act like Stone Bakugo wouldn't be hilarious as hell.
Oh wow, yeah, that's so true.
Like Bakugo gets drunk and he's like, Deku, I never said this before, but you're my best friend ever. I love you, man. Anyone
I have
who messes
romantic
with you...
feelings towards you. The fans were right.
That sounds like
all this anger was just repressed.
It totally would be. Yeah, that's my hot take. Stop appealing towards your audiences of teenagers and start appealing to me specifically.
I don't even think. I mean, I know you're just saying that as like a joke mostly, but I don't even think they need to stop making teenage/high school stuff, but just make more older
like
stuff.
College stuff,
like literally the
or
same
older stuff
synopses.
in general.
Yeah, literally the same synopses, but just like age it up, you know.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like anime fans are getting older, so like you definitely have like a generation where they got into like the old school shit, like the classic like high school anime like Naruto and etc. Like you could like set something in college, and I think it would sell pretty well.
I agree.
All right.
So yeah, that has been our review of episodes 5 through 12 of My Hero Academia Vigilantes. Thank you for watching, and come back next time when we probably going to finish up Lazarus. I think that might be over by then.
Is that done?
I think so.
I would hope so. I think so. I mean, I'm not saying that in a bad way, but I'm saying that because 12 episodes.
I don't want to watch 24 episodes of this shit.
Actually, yeah, you know what? You're right. I don't want to watch 24 episodes of Lazarus. So yeah.
I mean, there is a time limit, to be fair, unless they're like, hey, on the last day, we're gonna spend like 50 episodes.
Oh god.
It's gonna be real time, 24 hours.
If I feel like we can talk about this later, but I feel like if it's still going strong into summer season and we have other things we want to watch, we might, consider moving on. Maybe we'll see. I don't know.
But there's a Dan movie. There's other anime that's come out, right?
Yeah, I don't know anything else about the summer besides Dan, so we'll see. I guess. Okay. Yeah.
Real fast, and this is a teaser for our Lazarus review. I would love it so much if at the end of Lazarus, it gets like Skinner releases another video saying like, the cure for Hopna will kill you in 3 years. You took it all too late. Find it in this location. Go.
I lied, and there's 3 more seasons of this shit.
All right, you guys. Bye.
Bye.